it's a beautiful, beautiful structure, and I would definitely recommend to go up there when you leave the walk and have a look, or to head over to Dundas West. The TTC subway station is just over there. We created our largest plaza right here. This is also the widest part of the entire trail. So we actually created a little wild area here, and with a little path that can allow, you know, someone just to walk through this kind of stuff, and then a dense planting here. Right behind me was a former Glidden factory.
Glidden Paints.
Glidden Paints, thank you. They just finished, while we were building the trail, they were removing and doing all sorts of stuff with the soil here. This was a very contaminated site as well. It, I assume, is completely cleaned up now and ready for redevelopment. I don't know what kind. I assume it's residential. One of the things that is a little thing, but I think was important, was it was also recommended that every tree gets cleared out. There weren't a lot of trees. There's a lot of smaller trees, but this is one of them that was quite significant that we saved. It's a tree of heaven. It's not a native tree. It's originally from China. There's a series of Chinese elm too, Manitoba maple, things that are considered invasives or non-native species. But they are a mature tree, and I thought they were an important remnant to save, so we've kind of celebrated this the way the plaza goes around it. So there are a few interesting trees that have been retained along the site. This is a very interesting building, and as you can see, I wanted it to really be part of the experience, so we didn't plant anything to hide it or anything. We really wanted it to front onto the Railpath, and I think it does that quite well. It's you can see from 1920. I was looking at these two portals or entranceway, very bold architectural features from the time, really highlighting the entrance, and then these beautiful Palladian windows along this side, and really just an interesting remnant building still in use by Toronto Hydro.
I think it's one of the first places where I saw the block of sandstone park.
Okay, so this area, the junction, the interesting thing about the junction, and the reason it's named is because it has something called the West Toronto Diamond here. It's where an east-west and a north-south line meet at grade. So not too many conditions like that happen. So one train would have to stop while the other one goes by. You'll see a lot of pile drivers down here. What's actually happening adjacent to our corridor is that just after this bridge, this line here is actually going to start to go down. And there will be a large retaining wall along this side. It's going to get lower and lower and lower, and that will allow the east-west line to cross it. From quick research, it said it was very rural in this area up until the 1870s, and then the area was founded in 1884, and there's significant foundries, mills, as you can see, industry. From 1904 to 2000, the area was dry, so you couldn't, I guess there was a lot of bars and things to service the industry that was here, and the citizens decided that was something that should change. So as of 1904, the area became dry, and then, as I say, up until the year 2000. When we cross the DuPont Bridge, you can see it's handled the same way as the Bloor Street Bridge. We completely stripped it down, repainted it, re-waterproofed it, put these boards over, these timber boards, to have a different surface as you cross it. We created the lay-bys, the guards, to make it safe. The path is lit at night. There's lights every approximately 40 to 45 meters. They're standard City of Toronto poles with a standard City of Toronto, what's known as a Culver head light. And then wherever there's a plaza, we increased the light is to, once again, to make it stand out, or where the bridge is, there's a 3-head version, so that they're a little brighter pools of light at each one of these intersections. We're entering the smallest, the last piece of the West Toronto Railpath now, north of DuPont Bridge. This has a different character, slightly different character than south of here. There's some existing commercial buildings along here, and then a new townhouse development here. And then it ends in a series of mainly automotive businesses down at the end. So very, very urban and unique character, and a real variety if you think about what we've passed in our walk today. This small connection makes this connection out to Osler Street. One of the things all along here, there was so much debris. We removed truckloads and truckloads of debris when we were constructing this trail. And as I said, the vegetation was very high before we started. I'm hoping it's going to be in the kind of the 2 feet to maximum 3 feet range. One of the best ways to resist graffiti and tagging is this company, I think, was very smart. While we were constructing this trail this summer, they put on this fabulous mural. So they're taking advantage of great frontage for some advertising, as well as you can see there hasn't been any artists who have put their work on top of this because the quality is so good. And there is also a community youth group that was organized by the councillor, and they did a lot of murals along the DuPont abutments, which you can see down there. And I remember seeing them working away at night. So those are, you know, any of those kind of surfaces like that. So it was a really interesting, they had these projectors out and they were projecting onto the wall so that they could draw. So it's very interesting and very gratifying to see something like this happen on the trail. So this is the terminus of the trail. The city owns a little bit of land, well, owns actually this piece of land here as well, that this is leased out to right now. But there's really no other space available north. So we tried to create a large plaza here to act as the entranceway, the trailhead, to try to connect visually. You can see a cyclist coming around here now. It's very gratifying for me to watch this. And he found it. And like you can see a little spur that would have gone off here, so we've made this connection here as well as this little one here in this large plaza, planted with single stem service berries and underplanted with New Jersey tea, which are two very interesting native plants. So that will conclude my talk. I'm going to turn it over to Helen here, who's going to talk about Lost Rivers, but I'd like to thank everybody for coming and I hope you enjoyed it.